Good evening and welcome back. This past week wasn't as productive as I would have liked, but I did have some wins. So let's take a look at how this week went. My first goal was to automate the daily activity tracking requests, and I did get this accomplished. I now have an email going out every day between 4 and 5 p.m. with a link to a Google form to report metrics. It also has a link to the agent dashboards that I created earlier, as well as the totals of their results for the past 7 days. So it's totaling their hours, their conversations, and the number of appointments set. And the past 7 days is listed out on the email along with the links. My second goal was to execute on my first training session, and that did not happen this week. We had two agents that were out of the office all week, so we opted to wait, and I'll actually be conducting that training session tomorrow after our team meeting. My third goal was to complete the seller section of the intranet, and I didn't even touch this project this week, so that is a clear miss. And my final goal was to revamp our pen to close form, which was also part of that seller section. And I did not touch this either, so no progress on that. So obviously, this was not a great week for goal accomplishment, only going 1 for 4, not even touching some of the tasks that I wanted to get done. I'm certainly not thrilled with the results, but that's just how it goes some weeks. I had back pain for a couple of days, which made working a little bit difficult, and just really impacted my motivation. That was on Tuesday and Wednesday. Obviously, this week I want to get refocused and make sure that I make some impact. The week wasn't all bad, though. I did have a few good meetings. Two of those meetings were one-on-ones with team members that I thought were pretty productive and informative. I was able to teach a few things and also learn a few things from them. I know I need to schedule more time when I have these one-on-ones. I want to have at least an hour. One thing that I noticed by having a longer meeting, more things came out, and we got into have like a more candid conversation towards the end of these meetings. And that's honestly where I derived a lot of value. So I want to make sure that I'm scheduling longer meetings with the team members. The other meeting I had, so I mentioned I had a few meetings, so two one-on-ones. The other meeting that I had that was really good was we met with myself and the team leader met with a division president of a new home builder that we were working with. And I just really enjoyed getting to know her. She seemed to have really good business sense. We just seemed to have alignment in our philosophy. So I really enjoyed having a conversation with her. She just seemed well read and was just a thoughtful leader as she was talking about what she was doing with her organization and some of the things that we can do to support them and kind of have some good synergy. So that was a good meeting. I was also able to put an essay together that I'll use for training and onboarding. It's a reworked version of Good Product Manager, Bad Product Manager from, it's actually written by Ben Horowitz, but the first place I heard it was from the book Hard Thing About Hard Things. But I repurposed this, bad product manager or good product manager, bad product manager, into good real estate agent, bad real estate agent. And the purpose is just to provide clarity to the agents on what it means to be a good real estate agent and contrasting that with what a bad agent would do in the same situation. So I'll actually put a link to the original piece, Good Product Manager, Bad Product Manager, in the description if you want to check that out. That was the inspiration for this essay that I'm going to be using for training. So that's what I was able to get done this week. Had some other things, obviously, but let's go ahead and take a look at the goals for next week. Keeping it a little bit shorter list now that I'm getting into the day-to-day activities and finding myself with not as much time to focus on projects. So I'll probably be reducing to 3, maybe even 2 goals a week moving forward. But first and foremost, the goal, I need to finalize the buyer and seller section of the intranet. These are the core processes for the team and or a foundation for the training that I'm implementing. So I want to make sure I've got that completed this week. Really where there's no revisions or anything of that nature that need to be done. Just kind of have a finalized version. The next goal is to finish the pen to close form. This is a repeat from last week. This is also part of the first goal that I just mentioned about having the buyer and seller section completed. We do have an existing form that works. It just needs to be improved and have a few things added and changed to make it work for the new system that we're using. And lastly, I want to continue working on the training outline. This has been the most challenging piece to make consistent progress on, but I also feel it's the most essential to implement, as that's going to be the foundation for our team growth. So I really want to put a lot of time and effort into that and make sure it's really well structured and well documented. So that does it for the week. Hopefully next week I'll have more goal accomplishment than I did this week. Hopefully it'll be better than one before. And at least get some of these big tasks moving forward. I would like to actually have some of these projects done and finalized. It'll be motivating to have some of that, especially the training piece, the seller and buyer sections completed. It'll be nice to have that off my plate and be able to start implementing some of these things. So thank you for joining me. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you here next Sunday.